posted that truck for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Are you crazy? How much money you want for it? Said you want how much for it?
Yeah, man, I'm asking $72,000 or best offer. Low mile truck, you know, prices keep going up, and a lot of them are selling for this much. If you don't want it, that's fine. You don't have to buy it. I've got a couple people messaging me about it. You're crazy, man. You got that thing 2 years ago for less than that. There's no way. Come on, let me get it for like 34 grand. That's all I got. I'll give you 34 grand. It's cash money. I'll come get it right now. Yeah, man, I really appreciate the offer, but I'm going to have to pass, man. I got a couple people that are really interested, and they said they're going to come buy it for asking price. Sorry, man. And it doesn't matter if you bring cash or check or money. It's going to be the same when I put it in my account. So even if you finance it, it isn't a big deal. Oh, man, you're crazy, man. You're never going to sell it. You'll never get what you want for it. You're crazy. This guy's out of his mind. Everybody on Facebook, look at this guy. He's crazy. Let's all comment on his truck and say, you'll never get that. Hey, man, I know I said I have 34 grand, but I just got approved for a loan, so I can come pick up the truck today, man. I got the loan and the cash, man. I'll come get it right now. Hey, man, I'm sorry. The truck already sold. Someone came and got it, and they gave me asking price. Hey, what's up, boys? Welcome back to the Sean O'Connell YouTube channel. As always, thanks for watching. Go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Today, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the increase on used truck prices. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain like why this is happening, because it seems kind of crazy to happen all of a sudden, where you have guys that have trucks like a 2017, 2018 F-250. They bought these trucks for 50, 60 grand brand new, and they're selling them for 70 grand now used with a bunch of miles. So I'm going to explain all that. It actually kind of makes sense when you take a step back and think about it, but it is insane. If you are in the market right now for a new truck or a new used truck, I would maybe hold off for a year if you could. The prices might start to stabilize in the used market, but probably not in the new market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain why this is happening. Alright guys, so what I'm going to explain right now is something called a semiconductor. It's basically a computer microchip type deal that the truck needs, or that vehicles need, in order to be able to talk to the engine. So it has something to do with the ECU. It's basically like, think about the microchips in the truck, the CAN bus type stuff. It's how the truck is able to kind of talk, and it's, think of it like the brain of the truck, similar to like an ECU, right? So there's a global shortage, not just a shortage in the United States, but a global shortage on these semiconductors. So that's a pretty big deal if you think about like why there's a shortage. We've been in the COVID era for about a year now, ish, give or take, and that's one of the big things, because a lot of places where these semiconductors are created or manufactured, you're talking over in Japan, China, Taiwan, places like that, right? Over there in those areas, they were hit pretty hard by the virus, and they shut a lot of stuff down. So what ended up happening is they weren't creating these microchips, where here in the United States, a lot of stuff's open. The factories have been open, they've been pumping trucks out and all this, but they basically created or built the trucks without the electronics, without the semiconductors in the trucks. So I'll show you guys a picture right now. This is one of the lots at outside one of the assembly areas. These trucks have all been assembled. They are literally just waiting on these semiconductors. They can put those in the truck and then go ahead and send them to dealers. But what you're seeing right now is you're seeing huge backlog at the dealers, because the supply chain, since they didn't get the semiconductors, they can't complete the truck, and they can't ship those vehicles to the dealerships. So the dealerships are like, drive by your local dealership. They are looking super empty right now. And that's why you have places like Carvana and CarMax. They are buying up all the used inventory. They are reaching out to people and is paying way more than Kelley Blue Book or an NADA value for their vehicles. So if you have a truck that you want to unload and sell, now is the time to do it, because dealers are paying top price. CarMax, Carvana, even private sellers, they're paying insane amounts of money for trucks with a bunch of miles on them, 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 miles. They really don't care, because dealerships, they're going to be able to sell those trucks back, and they want to have some inventory on the lot so they can make some money. Now the automakers, right, you're talking about really two big ones here in the United States. We're talking GM and we're talking Ford, right? When I say GM, mainly Chevy stuff. They have estimated that they're each going to lose between $1 and $2 billion, that's with a B, $billion in sales this year, due to not having these semiconductors, not being able to finish these trucks. If you look at the plants around the country, a lot of them have gone through shutdowns. They've gone down where they'll shut down a week, 2 weeks at a time, because they're pumping all these trucks out and they have nowhere to put them.
because they still need the semiconductors before they can send them to the dealerships. So this is a huge deal. And what I'm predicting right now is we're not really going to see a solution for this for at least a year. Like, if you look, the U.S. government is looking at, hey, giving incentives to companies to start producing those semiconductors here in the United States, where the government's going to kind of give them some kickbacks, some tax breaks, and things like that, so that they can get the auto industry booming and pumping again over here, because it's a big deal, right? Whether you're on the left or the right side politically, like, it doesn't matter. Like, we need to find a solution to this, right? And one of these solutions may be domestically making these products, which I'm all for. But keep in mind that here in the United States, it's going to cost a little bit more to manufacture. So don't be surprised if you see new vehicle prices start to shoot up a little bit. So what we're seeing is a hyperinflation throughout the whole market. With the stimulus, you know, you still got some people working and receiving stimulus, and then unemployment, and they're still hustling on the side. So what you're seeing is the U.S. dollar is worth less and less every day, right? And that's kind of worrisome. We'll see what happens with it. Diversify your money, spread your money out if you guys got money like that. Don't take advice from me though. Like, talk to the experts about it. But yeah, that's what we're starting to see. Let's go ahead and look at some of these trucks that are for sale. All right, first truck, 2017 F-250 XLT. Actually a really good looking truck. It looks like it's got some wheels and tires, a little lift on it, steering stabilizers, nice headlights. It's a good looking truck, but $59,000 for an XLT. Y'all saw my truck in the beginning of the video. I paid $48,000 for that truck out the door with 50,000 miles on it, but that was 2 years ago. The prices have gone up and the dollar isn't worth as much right now. I will bet that this truck sells for the asking price, especially because it's in Florida. Let's look at this next truck, a 2017 Platinum Ultimate. Actually a really good looking truck, as you guys can see. Got some nice wheels, tires, a little bit of suspension on it. $70,000 with 77,000 miles. Granted, for a diesel, that's not a lot of miles, but for 70 grand, seems like a lot to me. There's a bunch of people reacting to this and stuff like that. I bet this guy will sell this truck for 68, 69,000. Nice. Now let's go to eBay, where we can see some trucks that have actually sold. So you see the screenshot right there, that top truck right there, it sold for $68,000. It's a Platinum, a little bit less miles than that other one, only 36,000 miles. They got $68,500 for it. Not bad. It's got probably some mods on it. You know, people, I think it's ugly personally, but it is what it is. That next truck, that's a good deal, but that's like a work truck right there. 80,000 miles, 28 grand. We won't even talk about that one. Look at one below it. Platinum, $60,000 with 49,000 miles. Honestly, right now, that's not a bad price, but let's see. And I'll show you guys one more truck. Look, this one sold. It's a 2019 F-250. It has a little miles on it, but it sold for $75,000. That is insane. 75,000 bucks. That's a lot of money for a truck. That truck looks kind of like mine. I bought my truck for $48,000 out the door. That's with tax and everything, and the license plate. So that's crazy. But yeah, you guys see, that's the real reason why the trucks are starting to rise in price. So don't freak out. But if you do have a truck you want to offload, and you could do with riding around with a beater for a couple of years, a year or two, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and get rid of that truck and get something. Just get your little beater and then get back in the truck game in 2 years or so. You're going to see this with the F-150s, F-250s, Chevy 1500s, 2500s, Dodge, same thing. A lot of plants closing down and stuff like that temporarily, and hopefully this doesn't cripple the U.S. economy, because you're talking about taking $1 to $2 billion of sales out, where a lot of people are buying those used vehicles. And when people buy used vehicles, you guys know they don't put how much they bought the vehicle for a lot of times on the title, so nobody pays tax on it. Taxation, theft, whatever, but like still, my roads. So we'll see what happens. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Sean on YouTube channel. See you guys next time.